In this episode of the podcast, we take a look at the movie Uncle Drew, directed by Charles Stone III and written by J. Longino, starring Kyrie Irving, Lil Howery, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller, Nate Robinson, and Lisa Leslie. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with different opinions takes a quick look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before watching your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
Is Uncle Drew a slam dunk? We'll tell you all about it right after these two trailers.
All right, the first trailer we saw was for Nobody's Fool, a new Tyler Perry movie coming out. A woman is released from prison and reunites with her sister, only to discover that her sister is in an online relationship with a man who may not be what he seems. It has Tiffany Haddish in it and the lovely Whoopi Goldberg. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm real excited about seeing this. It looks like a female version of the original OG.
Oh, I didn't really think about that.
It kind of does.
Good idea.
So the second trailer we saw was for a movie called The Hate You Give, a star witness to the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend, Khalil, at the hands of a police officer. Now facing pressures from all sides of the community, Star must find her voice and stand up for what's right. This looks like a really tough movie to watch. It involves the Black Lives Matter movement. This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a good one, though. It looks really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Regina Hall. She's in it.
So the movie we saw this week was Uncle Drew. This originally was a Pepsi commercial back in 2012 for Pepsi Max. It's a story about a young man who's trying to win back his dignity after losing his girlfriend and the team he coaches in basketball to his nemesis and arch rival who blocked his shot when they were both kids and kept him from his dreams of playing basketball. To win this tournament, which is what they call the Rutgers tournament in the movie, and $100,000, he convinces an old street baller and legend to play for him. That's Uncle Drew. Together they travel and put back together Uncle Drew's old team. This is a movie directed by Charles Stone III, who brought us Drumline and Mr. 300, two great movies, and writer J. Longino, who was with the movie Skip Trace. It stars Kyrie Irving as Uncle Drew, Lil Howery, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller, Nate Robinson, Lisa Leslie, Erica Ashe, Tiffany Haddish, and Nick Kroll.
I really enjoyed this movie and I liked it very much. Especially for a summer movie, but anytime what I really enjoy about a movie is, does it keep me entertained the whole way through? Do I laugh a lot? Do I think some? It did all of the above. I really enjoyed the characters too, and the message in life.
Yeah, it had a great message and theme. It was one of those movies where it's all about don't letting things that happen in the past stop you from your own personal success. But it was a very light tone to that story. It had great acting, too. I was really surprised by all the actors in this. Shaquille O'Neal, when he did Kazam, that was a horrible movie, but I really loved the Shaq in this movie. Has played the character of Big Guy. I'll have to tell you that for me, the standout in this movie was Chris Webber. He played the preacher. Oh, man, was he phenomenal. I did not know he could act. He does a scene in there with a baptismal, and, oh, man, it had me laughing and standing up on my feet and clapping. Really good job.
I want to say that surprisingly good acting for a bunch of NBA athletes. I mean, it was just great.
Yeah, and too, it was a well-directed movie. I think Mr. Stone did a phenomenal job. It was a straight, basic storyline, and so he didn't wander around. There was no flashbacks or anything like that. For me, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was consistent. I also enjoyed the score with this movie, mixed classics from the 70s with modern hip-hop. That was great. It wasn't overwhelming, and it fit the scenes. That's something I really appreciated.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the way they wove the two types of music together in the movie, too. So,
as far as the cinematography, great basketball scenes.
Yeah, if you're a fan of basketball, you can't go wrong with what they did and how they portrayed it in the movie. So,
And whoever designed the van, the orange van in the movie, I really appreciated that.
Yeah,
as well.
Uncle Drew's movie was a van right out of the 70s, with the boom boom room in the back. So
that's right. All right, Tim, do you want to talk about the special effects?
Well, there weren't a whole bunch of special effects other than the makeup. The makeup job on the basketball players, and actually some of the other actors too, to make them seem old, was fantastic. They really did a great job. I had a hard time. It was funny too, because a couple of the guys, like Lights, I had no idea who the whole time during the movie I was trying to figure out who was playing Lights. So
that's right.
And that was Nate Robinson. So I had no idea. So I thought the makeup and special effects that they did have were great.
And at the end of the movie, they show you how they did it with the molds.
Oh, yeah.
It was fascinating.
If you stay for the credit scene, they do show you how they did the makeup on them. So that was kind of cool, too. And I thought the dialogue in the movie was actually well done, too. It was lighthearted, but there was a lot of good messages in it. And one of the things I like, too, with the dialogue, if you're familiar at all with the NBA, there were a lot of subtle jokes and one-liners in there about different NBA players and such, which I found amusing and quite enjoyable.
Me too, because I love basketball. And I think that if you're a big basketball person, you're going to get it. But it was a very funny movie. Not just the one-liners, but just there were several things that happened in the movie that just were hilarious. And it's nice to go and laugh.
And it is for a summer movie. It was a heartwarming movie. It hit the spot. I think for me, this movie accomplished what they set off to do. It was a lighthearted, entertaining summer movie. So, and
also, any movie about friendship is always great. But I really enjoyed it and liked it. I just think it's when you sit down and the lights go down and you're starting to get pulled into a movie, it's so nice when you're pulled in the entire time. And then when it's time to leave, you enjoyed yourself and weren't sitting there thinking about other things. To me, that's also a really good sign of a good movie.
Yeah, my mind didn't wander at all during this movie. I was pulled into it. And for me, that's what counts. If you're entertained and you're pulled in and you don't think about what's going on outside the world and outside the theater, I think the movie just done its job.
Right. And a shout out to the cast and crew to that movie. Just the humor, too. Very much appreciated.
Okay, April, what score will you give Uncle Drew?
I'm going to give Uncle Drew a 3, maybe even a 3.5. Again, there was a lot of great things I can say about this movie. And I knew it would be funny, but I didn't know going in that it would be so well put together. I hope that's the right way to put it.
Yeah, for me, I had my reservations going into this movie, like I said up front. It was kind of, this could be a hit or a miss. And for me, it was a pleasant surprise. I'm definitely giving it a 3.5. It's not an Oscar-worthy film, but that's not what they set out to create either. Like I said, lighthearted, fun summer movie. Grab your significant other, get a big old thing of popcorn and a Coke, and go see this in the theater. It's worth your time.
Enjoyed it very much.
So don't forget, let us help you make the right movie decision. Go out to hesaidshesaidmovies.com/subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast, and you'll never miss one of our shows.
And we'll see you at the movies.
Thank you very much. See you at the movies.